A goal and an assist.Not the worst night for Antonio Rudiger.Unfortunately, the goal was Arsenal's first half equaliser. The assist, their second half winner. Not that Rudiger could have done much about either. These were hapless deflections more than horrible errors, a scruffy influence on what was often a scruffy game. Not that Arsenal were complaining. This win takes them to Wembley again for the first domestic cup final since their last visit in May. Manchester City will be favourites on the day, of course, but so were Chelsea over 2 legs here. Arsenal were decent value for their win, though, even if Chelsea will rue the chances missed by Alvaro Morata in the first game. They could have had a reasonable cushion here. Instead, they were vulnerable to random twists of fate. A header twice deflected on its way to goal, a cross diverted straight to the feet of Arsenal's match winner, Granit Xhaka. The winner came after 60 minutes, Arsenal having fought back from an early goal down. By then, they were in the ascendancy, despite Eden Hazard doing his utmost to drag Chelsea back into the game. To no avail, after Arsenal took the lead, they also had the best chance of the final 30 minutes. Had Alex Iwobi taken it, the last 5 minutes would have been considerably less tense, not to mention 4 minutes injury time. Chelsea even got a corner, the final play of the game. Ross Barkley had one job on his debut: make sure he didn't plant it into the first red shirt. He failed and Michael Oliver blew the final whistle. It was an inauspicious start for Chelsea's new signing. Alexander Lacazette, quiet otherwise, held the ball up well on the right against Andreas Christensen before attempting a cross which clipped the legs of Rudiger. Having already diverted the ball into his own net with his head, he could have done with a break. He didn't get it. The rebound took the ball directly to Xhaka, who prodded it past second-string goalkeeper Willy Caballero. A Carabao Cup final appearance is hardly going to influence the long-term future of Chelsea manager Antonio Conte. These things do matter to Arsenal, though. They may be losing ground in the league, but Arsene Wenger has turned them into an excellent cup side, and some would even argue those recent successes have extended his tenure. It was with 14 minutes remaining that Iwobi should have wrapped the game up, but he hit his shot directly at Caballero with plenty of time and space. He will be pleased that, unlike Morata, he was not made to pay for his wastefulness. There was more action, and certainly more goals, in the first 12 minutes than they enjoyed in 90 at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea had the ball in the net, disallowed on a tight but right offside call after 5 minutes, scored legitimately after 7, and saw their lead erased 5 minutes later. And those were not the only opportunities in a frenetic opening spell. It was more like the league game here, earlier this month, which finished 2-2 and could have been 5-5. At times it resembled one of those pick-up matches over the park, players doing as they pleased with scant regard for shape. Only as the game wore on did it become more structured, Wenger in particular tinkering between a back 4, a 3, and then 4 again, as he sought to contain Chelsea. He has done a job on them over these 2 ties, an intriguing reversal of a familiar pattern. The VAR was in play on Wednesday night as the Carabao Cup continued its random quest for truth and Oliver used it at the first opportunity. It looked too good to be true and was. Scott Ledger's flag was up and the VAR rerun showed him to be correct. Pedro was off, but not by much. Arsenal could not afford to leave gaps in their ranks like that again. Being Arsenal, they failed to learn this rather obvious lesson. So 2 minutes later, they paid. It was a lovely, fluent passing move, started by N'Golo Kanté, who fed the ball into Pedro, his deft flick finding Hazard exploiting a hole in the middle of Arsenal's defense that the team bus could have driven through. Unlike Morata, Hazard made no mistake, slipping the ball past Ospina without fuss. Arsenal should have equalised within 2 minutes. Jack Wilshere has been in great form for Arsenal of late, but his touch was poor when put through by a pinger of a pass from Iwobi. Wilshere's heavy control diverted the ball into the path of Caballero, sustaining a minor knock. Nacho Monreal won the header, but from there, the ball took on a life of its own. It hit Marcos Alonso on the head, rebounded off the head of Rudiger and defeated Caballero utterly. He might have reacted to the first ricochet, but the second left him stranded. Hazard remained the danger, though, although the anger the home fans directed at him for a perceived dive in the second half was misplaced. He had already been booked for a foul on Mesut Ozil when he went through on goal, but lost his footing and fell. Yet what would once have been a source of harmless merriment was now a cause for fury. The locals wanted him booked for diving and therefore sent off. It would have been a travesty. There was no appeal from Hazard, no attempt to make capital of the situation. He tripped